Okay, so what you're looking at right now, I apologize that I don't have the best camera setup, but I'm going to try my best. But what you're looking at right now is the printout that Kristen provided for us that has perfect little gems in it, and I just colored these 4 last night. And these are kind of the 4 shades that I'm going to show you today, and kind of how to do that. So I have a blank one under here, and I'm going to work on those 4 that are closest to the camera so you guys can see it. First of all, I am going to kind of show you some of the tools besides colored pencils that I'm going to be using. I have a little skull cup here that I carry all my extra stuff in. I do use a white gel pen for the highlights. I actually have 2 of those. This one does a little bit thicker highlights. It's just a uniball. This one's a jelly roll. I also have, let's see, a white colored pencil. I also have a colorless blender. I have a little tiny tip eraser and then a big eraser, because if you go outside the lines you might want to clean that up. And then I also choose, besides all the colors that we're going to use for the gems, I always use a dark brown to draw those little cracks to draw those little cracks that you see in the back there. And for that, if you're using Prismacolors, I'm using number, let's see if I can get it up here. Come on, focus with me, come on. Anyway, it's number 948, Sepia or Sepia, however you want to pronounce that. So that's a few of the extra things that I have. And then I just pulled out a dark gray to color the outsides to make it look like metal, but I'm not even going to get into that today. So those are the extra tools that I have besides the colored pencils. I'm going to start with what I think is the easiest group of colors to work with, and that's going to be this yellowish orange amber gem right here. And what I have is an assortment of 5 colored pencils from yellow all the way up to an orangey red. Again, if you're using Prismacolors, I can give you the numbers real quick. This one's 916, this one's 917, this one's 1002, this one's 918, and then this one is 922. So this is the range of colors that we're going to be using. And I try to keep the pencils in order because you're going to do a lot of back and forth with this. So I'm going to start with the lightest color, and I'm just really light pressure. I'm not pushing hard at all. I'm just going to color real lightly the entire gem area. Just real lightly. Just like that. Okay? I'm going to leave that in order in my little pencils here. Leave them in order. So then I'm going to go with the next color, starting at the top. Now, let me explain how we're going to judge where to put the different colors. When a light is shining on a gem, let's say the light, let's say this is our light. Stay still, light. Okay, so that light is shining directly on this gem, and that's why you see that white mark. But that light is also going through the gem, through the glass, or through the gem material, and on the other side it's showing a little bit of light too. So that's why you have it lighter over here and then the white shine marks up here. So that's the direction of light that we're going to follow with this as well. So that means we're going to start at the top with the darker colors, because where the direct light hits, it only hits the glass dome, if you want to consider it that way. Again, I'm just coloring very, very light. You can't even tell the difference at first. And notice I'm not getting down here too far. I'm not getting down in this area too much. So yeah, just keep real lightly. What we're doing is layering on these colors, and then just kind of leave this area a little bit each time. You're gonna see it kind of grow as I go. So I'm on my third color now. And again, I'm starting at the top, just real light hand. And I'm just gonna color down. And I always go down a little bit more. It's almost like a horseshoe shape right here. You know, like if you can imagine where I'm putting the color, because I don't know how well it shows up on video. So real lightly, just go over that. And again, I'm leaving this area alone down here. So then I'm going to go with my next color. Start at the top. So this is where you kind of just got to use your best judgment about how much color you want to use, because once we get through this last pencil, this is going to be our darkest color. We're going to actually go back through our pencils. We're going to layer on another layer of everything we just did. Now this darkest color, I'm really only using around the darker edge. You know, I'll put it on a little heavier up here. And then real fine line, I'll actually kind of go all the way around, just barely, just to give it a little definition. Okay, so we have that so far. Now we got to do it again. What this is going to do is layer on more color, and it's going to blend all the colors together as we go. Again, just use real light pressure over the entire thing. And start at the top. Always start at the top except for that first, the lightest pencil. Sorry, I wish I could play some music, but copyright doesn't allow for that. If any of you are coloring along, no matter what brand of pencils you're using, this technique works. I've used it with my Marco Raffines, my Crayolas. You can do this light layering technique with any brand. Just pick 5 colors that go from light to dark and go to town. You just have to have patience because it takes a while to layer all these different shades to get just the right effect that you want. Now I'm going to go pretty heavy with this dark up here, because I think down here we're doing pretty good. I think it looks alright down there. So I want to work on up here to make it really look orange. Even if you can't, if you're missing us today, you can always catch up later. Not a problem. I keep going outside the lines, but it's not a big deal because, you know, the plan is to color in these areas with like a dark metal color or however you want to do that. Okay, so I think I'm pretty pleased with the general color that we have here. Now I'm going to take my Colorless blender. I have a sheet underneath here that I'm using to, in case I need to wipe anything off here. Just want to make sure. Okay. And just real lightly, I'm just going to use the Colorless blender. Always start in the lightest area and blend upwards. And just in real small circles. This will smooth out all that color and make it look like a perfect gradient effect. And sometimes the Colorless blender picks up the black ink from the edge, so be real careful with that. I hate it when that happens. So I'm going to keep going here. So I've got this all blended. It looks pretty much exactly how I want it. I am going to take my white, the white pencil that I had set aside, make sure that's cleaned off too, and just in this area down here I want to make it extra light. So I'm just going to add a little bit of white down here to show that light coming through on the edge. Okay. And then we're going to take our little dark brown sepia tone, and just, this is the fun part, I think. Just little random squiggly lines wherever you want. They don't have to be real dark, they don't have to be real light. These are going to make it look like there's natural cracks in the base of the stone. And these can go anywhere. All the way to the edge is usually the best. But you can do something like this where you connect two cracks together. It really doesn't matter. So this is where you're going to get the cracked effect. Use as many or as little as you want. And you don't even have to add the cracks if you don't want to. And now it's time for the gel pen. I'm going to try the jelly roll. Sometimes the jelly roll doesn't always give me the best shine mark, but we're going to give it a shot. So let me get it started here. Okay, so then we're just going to add a shine mark. There's really no science to how shine marks look. I mean, I'm sure if you're looking for realism, you would want to look at a photograph of a gem. But they're just kind of random, just along the edge, just barely along there. And you might have to go over it. This one's not coming out quite as bright as I want. Let me try my other gel pen. There we go. Okay, so there is the first gem that we have created.